My name is William Bo Martin, owner and founder of the B-Lane Network. First of all, welcome to SC 1775, Spivey's Creations. You see the guy walking around with the camera with the bandana. That's Derek Spivey. He's the owner, he's the artist of all the artwork that you see and of this building here. And this is where the B-Lane Studios is housed. We want to thank Brother Spivey for allowing us to be here every Wednesday. This is our first live taping for the B-Lane Network at the end of the day. We'll be doing live tapings every week starting today. We'll have shows next week and shows going forward, different guests, different artists, different things going on with the B-Lane. So, thank you all for coming. It's great to see you. So, either way, without further ado, I'm not going to hold everybody up. I'd like to introduce the host, the co-host, then the host. How do you say that? Host? The hostesses. The co-host? Okay, the co-hosts of At the End of the Day, Nicole English and Shonta Motre. Keep our hand.
So a lot has happened this week. Without any delay, he made his 20 I think he had 48 hours to turn himself in.
Right.
He noticed, if you've seen the pictures, he has noticeably gotten larger. He's been eating good, I think, off that money collected from PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think it would be a delay in him turning himself in, or how did you think it would go?
Well, they gave him 48 hours. I mean, I didn't think that they would delay it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have delayed it because he doesn't want to look or appear to be guilty. But I really don't. I don't know. I think that I'm glad that they are doing something else about it, knowing that he was getting all this money and he was getting off on a really, really low bail.
Right.
But I think they should have just kicked in his door with the dogs and the pistols to his head. Get on the ground! And took him to jail.
Like they would have done.
Right, us.
Absolutely. Exactly. I understand it. I'm hoping, because of the fact that he did seem to hide money, him and his wife seem to be in cahoots to hide the money, especially with the conversations that they take while he's in jail and calling home, the coded conversations. I'm hoping this will prove more to the judge, the jury pool, that he can't be trusted. If his word can't be trusted on the bail issue and how much money he had, how can we trust him on the issue of what happened with Trayvon? Are you thinking that's going to play into this?
Well, if they have a good prosecutor, it will. I mean, that just speaks again volumes to the type of person that we're dealing with when we're talking about, what the heck is his name? George Zimmerman.
Right.
I mean, I mean, we all know, well, you know, what's his name? Paul Mooney had a theory, and a few other people,
exactly,
that there were other people there besides those two that resulted in the death of Trayvon Martin.
Right. I think Paul Mooney said that he felt like the police were involved, that the police had actually been a part of the murder, had possibly murdered Trayvon, and then Zimmerman was just like a fall guy, I guess, or in on it, and eventually be exonerated, something like that.
Right. He's like the guy who he gives tips to the police. He's the guy who finds out what everybody else is doing, and so he's going to take the fall for the police. I don't know if that's all the truth or not, because that's like, I mean, we've seen it in movies and TV shows and all of that, but
I don't think I agree with that theory. I think it was Zimmerman. I think he acted alone. Now, the cover-up to me is after he was arrested.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and everything that happened,
keeping him there for 3 days,
right?
Not
He's walking around the jail like,
phone.
you know, he's comfortable and all that. I think that's what a conspiracy is. But I do think something definitely happened that was wrong and should be, he should have to suffer for it. He should have to pay for that.
Yeah, true.
Okay, we're going to our next subject here. Gwyneth Paltrow. And everybody who knows me knows that I am a huge Beyonce fan. I don't get the relationship with them, but I'm not supposed to. I'm just a fan. I'm not going, you know, I don't know her. But anyway, supposedly she's the godparent to Blue Ivy. And Gwyneth went to the concert in Paris. Kanye and Jay-Z had their concert in Paris, and they did the song Niggas in Paris. Gwyneth tweeted a picture of everybody standing together. I think she was the only white woman, the only white person in the picture with, I think, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kelly,
Kanye.
The Dream. I think The Dream.
Yeah,
Kanye and Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And then she tweets a picture of that, and the caption of that picture says, "Niggas in Paris for real."
Yes.
People are upset.
Yes.
What do you think of when you hear that?
Well, here's my thought on the whole white people using nigga, GGA, okay, not ER. For me, I'm kind of, on both sides of the fence about it, but this is how I feel as far as white folks are concerned. They should just stay away from it. Because I always say there isn't a nigga alive or dead that can make it all right for you to say nigga in front of 1 million black people. Like it only goes as far as that group of black people allow you to say it.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, you got that one cool white friend, and he can say, "What's up, my nigga?" and it's all good. Y'all don't tell him, don't go out into the world and say this, because another black person may not think that that's cool for you to say.
Right.
So at the same time, I always take a look at Eminem, who is, to me, one of the coolest white guys out there. This man has never used nigga on a platform. Right. He might have said it in front of D12 and his people, but he ain't got on no record and said it, because he knows.
I'm gonna agree with you. It bothered me. I'm already bothered that she's the godmom. Okay, I'm bothered by that. I don't know why I am, but the fact that she would speak that and feel so comfortable as to say that, I think,
because
I have no problem being friends with white people, because I have to say that before I come to say what I'm gonna say. But I think you have to walk a line of where you let them become too comfortable with you that they can say certain things. But then I also say to myself, if you're walking that line, do you have a real friendship if they can't say certain things? You know what I mean? I'm real and human, and that's what comes to my mind. Because I'm thinking, if my friend can't be who they are with me, and they are my friend, is that a friendship?
Right.
So
and that's why I said, if you're in a group of people and you use that terminology,
mm-hmm.
and you got a white friend and he hangs with all of y'all, or she, and you use that terminology, I don't know if they would be upset if that white person were to use nigga in that in that sense. But what I'm saying is, you can't then take that license and use it in another group of black folks, right? Because it's not going to turn out the same way.
And Uncle Rush,
yeah,
he always. I go back and forth with him. Sometimes I love him, sometimes I don't. He writes a whole article for Global Grind saying that it should be accepted. That hip hop is. He was pretty much writing from the template of hip hop has pretty much brought people together, and people are in a crowd at the concerts using the word, and it should be accepted. But hold that thought. We're going to come back right after this break. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back to At the End of the Day. I'm Nicole, and this is my co-host, Shonta. When we ended before the last break, we were discussing the fact of Gwyneth Paltrow using the N-word, and then going on into the discussion of white people using the N-word. Is it acceptable, whether it's with the ER or with the A? And we had come to the point of talking about Russell Simmons, who wrote an article for Global Grind concerning the Gwyneth Paltrow debacle, and he is saying that it should be accepted, we should be cool with it. Hip hop kind of brings people together, and to be at the concerts and hearing a mixed audience saying the N-word in a song all together, it's kind of inspiring to him. I'm thinking that's what he's saying. Mm-hmm. So, what did you think when you read the article?
Well, Nicole, I'm glad you asked me. Actually, what I thought, I like Russell Simmons. I think he's a dope individual. Yes, I said dope. But one thing is, and from that article, he also said that he believes that white people are starting to understand the plight of African Americans through hip hop. I was like, that was a reach, a big reach. I mean, take Justin Timberlake for a minute. He thought he was black for a hot second. And then when that heat came on his ass, he ran. He was white bread. He stopped doing R&B, hip hop. Yeah. Okay. He was like, no. Listen, I'm glad that we can all come together and sing and do the nigga songs and niggas in Paris. I think it's great. Wonderful. But again, I say to you, stop giving white folks a sense of hope, because you're going out there, you can't speak for all black people. So I understand Gwyneth Paltrow was his friend, And that's all fine and well, and that could be cool in y'all circle, but teach her as a friend to keep that in your circle, because at the end of the day, all black people ain't gonna be cool with that. So, you know, and there's no way that a white person can understand the black person's plight, because as soon as shit get real, they're not gonna stay black. I'm white, sir, please don't harass me. Right. I'm just saying, and I got white friends and I love them to death, but it's the truth, and I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna send you out there to get hit over the head thinking that you could be like niggas in Paris and think somebody ain't gonna hit you.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I got you.
That's just me.
That makes sense. No, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. It made me feel a certain kind of way too. It just didn't jive well with me.
Yeah,
so
I'm saying if you can say it with your friends,
exactly.
just be careful.
I do think you have to be careful.
Yeah, tell her don't tweet it.
Right.
Just don't tweet it.
Exactly. Don't tweet it. Just
DM all your friends.
Right, DM your friends. That's funny. So next we'll go into, which is almost kind of a good segue, so to speak, still staying on race. Maybe not a good segue, but we're still on race.
It's a segue, nevertheless. Right.
Talking about the way black women are portrayed on TV. There seems to be a buzz, the latest conversation with reality shows such as Real Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. There seems to be an uproar about how black women are supposedly portrayed, and even now Scandal has come in, which is a drama series that is on. When you think of that, when you hear that conversation, what are you thinking about how black women are portrayed? Does it embarrass you, as some people say? Is it feeding into the stereotypes?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's feeding into the stereotypes. As far as us, when we say it back to people, you know what I mean? Like, it's always been a stereotype on black women, period. And then every time, we could have done 1,000 great things on TV, and Michelle Obama is a representation, and then we have like on the Basketball Wives, Jennifer, who doesn't fight, who calls the police. But then you get one black Bama on TV that starts screaming and yelling, and that's black women are always. This is what we're talking about. They're representing us so terribly on TV. They're not representing me, because you don't say that Michelle Obama is me. You say Nene Leakes is me, who is now trying to speak out about basketball.
Now that's funny, because in the last few days, Nene Leakes has come out pretty much calling it a hot mess. And I just think that she should not be one to say anything.
No,
not that I even have a problem with Nene Leakes and the way she's portrayed or the way she is, because she is who she is. But to come in and make a comment about this situation when some of the same things have been said about you and you fought against them, but then to label somebody else with those same labels, that bothers me.
Right.
About her. I don't,
Yeah. I mean, weren't you the one who Kim called the police on and said she choked you?
You choked her, then?
Yeah.
Yes.
That you choked her.
Right.
Well, she choked her and then said, she said she gonna call the police on you. You said, well, call the police. We'll be two bitches in the cell wearing wigs and smoking Newports. Isn't that what you said?
Right.
I mean, this is what she said.
Exactly.
And she said, I didn't put my hands on you first, is what she said. So I'm confused. Like, really? So now you're saying that, they're messing up their brand. These women on Basketball Wives, they must don't care about their careers, because now she had that little part on Glee. And I ain't trying to mean what she's doing.
Right.
But I'm just like you.
Don't forget where you've come from.
Right.
That's my problem. And allow them time to grow as you have grown. What was it, 3 or 4 seasons before you got to this point of being brand new. So allow them time to grow, figure out who they are exactly, to see themselves. I do think once you see yourself probably back on TV, that's why I've always been really kind towards them, towards the Evelyn character, towards the Tammy character, towards all of them, because I think once you see yourself, it does something, and they're human like all the rest of us. They just happen to be portrayed on TV, and it'll be time for them to see themselves and grow into whatever they're going to grow into. Not that it's a better or worse person, but a different person maybe. And that's I just think Nene was allowed that time, so let's allow them that time.
Right. But going back, I guess, as a whole, for black women on TV or black women in the media, I just think that it's overcritical. I think people are overcritical, but it doesn't stop there. Then we start saying, yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We are acting crazy on TV. This is not an example for our daughters. Really?
Right.
I just think that, come on, man.
And I think everybody in life has had some of those moments.
Right.
I know a person on my Facebook page was saying, definitely you have those moments, but it seems like they have those moments every week. But then we have to realize that this show is taped over a certain amount of time.
And?
In real life, if you and I are mad at each other, we can go our separate ways and
Right.
not even have to communicate and talk, block you on Facebook, whatever I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In their world, with it being a reality show, they can constantly come back together when they haven't had time to
Right.
diffuse from the last situation and calm down and, you know, have a come to Jesus moment with themselves. So I think we have to take that into consideration.
And they're on television.
Exactly. And then ego plays too.
Right,
Because
that's
if
what
you
I'm saying.
call me out on TV, I can't say that I'm not the one who's going to sit there and be like, oh, please.
You
let
want to
us
look
come
like the
together.
baddest in the
Right,
place.
exactly. And that's just real.
Yeah.
That's just a human moment. So I think we do have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
You
I
think,
so.
yeah.
I think that it's just, again, I think really where it needs to start is in our own communities and our own selves. Stop feeding into the.
Right. Do you watch Scandal?
I love Scandal.
I think that's one of the best shows.
I love Scandal, but I know that.
Because then you've got the people who say about Scandal that they're portraying Kerry Washington's character is a jump off for the president. But it seems when they went back in history that of how they got together, and then we kind of figured out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really seem like a jump off situation at all.
She's not the jump
I
off.
can't even believe I'm saying it, but really when you think
She's not.
that,
I mean,
not, you know,
the wife even knows.
right?
Is what I'm
And
saying.
the wife is like cool because I don't
Yeah.
want him no way, but I like
Yeah.
just living in the White House
Right.
and getting my Gucci, so I'm
and
cool with
I
that.
hit the little dude
Right.
off on the side.
Which is, and then, you know what? I'm thinking it may be, which goes into a whole nother conversation, but just right quick. I'm sure there's a lot of relationships out there being run that way. But coming back to Kerry, I think her character is a smart character. I like that she's human. She's portraying a woman who's going to the top, who's smart, college educated, and all of that, and still trying to balance some type of life or love life or whatever,
Right.
and still showing the sensitivity of being a woman. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I think
But
Kerry,
look,
it's just Kerry. I think she's just an excellent actress.
hold that thought. We're going to come right back.
Okay,
after this
we'll
break.
be right back.